everybody, and welcome to my channel. It is SnowDream, and today we will be starting an RP in River Clan, SnowDreams home clan. We usually do whichever clan is most full because they're the best for RPs, but today we are doing it in her home clan. As you know, she is apprentice sized, and so cannot be using a role, or else she will be an apprentice or kit. So we don't use roles in this. I recently got more GPs, so this is my new character. I don't do gifting, but I will trade an OC for the first subscriber I get, since this is my brand new channel. So let's get on with the RP. The she-cat sat beside her a larger warrior, Creek Skip, and smiled slightly. "Good morning, Creek Skip," she mewed. Wait. The she-cat stood tall. The leader, Millard Star, sat on the rock. She was confused. I mean, what was so important? She didn't see the deputy. Strange, she muttered. She thought to herself, Where's the deputy? Where's the deputy? She muttered under her breath. Just a small heads up, guys, I will be kind of slow at typing since I am on mobile, and I have a slight problem right now with my wording, seeing as I don't have a script, and this is my first video, so if I'm bad, I am incredibly sorry. This is my first time, so yeah. So a bit of lore for SnowDream. She was stunted, she has stunted growth after, so it's kind of like she was washed, and she shrunk, except she was born with a condition that made her stop growing. So yeah. The she's ears perked at the meeting call. She wondered what this was about. Maybe the deputy, she thought to herself, seeing as there was no one in sight. She looked over at Blended Fur. He's the only declawed one in the clan, seeing as he was a former kitty pet and all. But he was probably the best suited for the role of deputy, if this was what it was about. She could never compare to his fighting skills and his calm demeanor. It was interesting. She dipped her head in sorrow. Minnow. Minnow Fern had been an excellent deputy for many moons. She sighed as the rain began. She may be a river climber, but she was never fond of rain. The hell? This is... Ugh, I hate inexperienced kids, especially when they're like, can I be deputy? Can I be deputy? I mean, I get that some people are joking, but it's really annoying when they're not. I have a feeling Blended First said something. Cactus Star. Oh my god, she changed her name. The she-cat sighed. There was no way she was going to become deputy with her small size. People often saw her as inexperienced. The she-cat purred in agreement. Did I accidentally say that in clan chat? No, I didn't. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. If I say anything out of clan chat, I am so unfortunately sorry, because I have a tendency to do commentary with things I don't mean to say. Cedar Curls was our only city-born cat. However, He was also a very experienced leader, an experienced cat. Same as blended fur. Both of them would be great warriors, and she knew he had, and both of them had. Cedar Curls was the one that found her when she was in the river. Her father had thrown her in after her mother's death, calling her a curse that should have never. The sheep heard in respect. "Congratulations," she mewed timidly. She was never the loud cat her sister, Blossom, was. She was also the smaller one of the two, which made her father hate her even more. Blossom was born to replace SnowDream. He didn't expect her to even survive. However, she did. Though she was small, she was definitely a quick thinker and a great hunter within their clan. Often being called one of the prettiest she-cats in the clan as well. "Deepest congratulations, Cedar Curls," the she-cat mewed. She knew she would be chosen for hunting patrols, as always. At least, she hoped so. Border patrols were never her thing, being the smallest. She was still a fairly good fighter, but not as well trained, as she was found more intuitive than having a physical type of fight. Interesting. She was chosen for hunting? The old deputy would have never forgotten about that. Then again, he was new to this. She wouldn't be too hard on him. Excuse me, Cedar Curls. Could I possibly join, hunting patrols? The she thought, no, that's too quiet to hear. The she-cat looked at the large Tom and whispered, The she-cat dipped her head. "Thank you, and congratulations," she said in a slightly louder voice. Though she was more of a quiet one, she was also an incredibly thankful person, always putting her clanmates before herself. That was one reason she was often really extremely hungry. But she ignored it most of the time. She didn't think having hunger was more important than the clan. So she would usually ignore her own, selfish needs, even if what she needed wasn't so selfish. She herself found it selfish, so she would often ignore the hunger she felt. Let's go back in here for a second, see if I can actually do that. Alright, sorry guys, I wasn't able to hunt. I needed to make sure I could hunt again. Okay. Though, even if she wasn't actually selfish, she saw it as such. It was her own personal code. You couldn't eat unless your clan had. And that was for everyone. Even the best hunters sometimes didn't come back with anything. Confusion spread across her maw. She couldn't smell anything. Not even a fish. She thought she was going crazy. She had to have been. She was the best hunter in all of the clan. She couldn't be going. She had to smell something. She had to. That was her purpose. The she sighed. She had left, ignoring the deputy's calls for food. She was exhausted. And though she always took the nest right here, usually outside the den, outside the beginning of the den, she decided to do the brambles, since this was that nest wasn't taken yet. She snuck out of camp a little after, just to clear her mind and kind of wander away from camp a little bit. She knew it was wrong most of the time, but she was a warrior. She had no reason not to go. So she went. She enjoyed a quiet walk around and even almost went to the gorge. Though she decided against it, since even though she was a River Clan cat, she was still incredibly weak in the legs. Seeing her small size, though she was extremely fast, even without the extra height. It made her as fast as a rabbit, so she could often catch them. She decided to go to the bridge. It was comfortable there, though soon enough she had fallen in. The she-cat screeched, being pulled from trying to get out of the current, but it was too strong. She was forced in and taken up the waterfall somehow. Somehow the high it confused her. She didn't know she could get up there. The she-cat woke up in a barn, confusion in her gaze. She quickly began grooming her pelt, full of blood. She felt slightly better after her coat was clean. She limped outside. "What's going on?" she muttered. "What's going on?" she muttered to herself, confused. She looked around. She didn't see any loners. She thought that was a good sign, right? I mean, no loners means that maybe she would be safe for tonight. She laid down in a box, walking over before laying down. She fell asleep in a box that night. Seemed similar. Seemed familiar. The box smelled of her mother. She knew her mother was a loner before, but the scent would have been long gone, right? Unless she had been there recently. That, or if no one slept in it after her mother. She was shocked at this reality, thinking there had to be some mistake. She couldn't have slept around here. I mean, sure, she had been a loner, but still. She walked out of the box, wondering if there would be anyone that could help. She hadn't been able to hunt since her injury. She stopped as a strange Tom. She gasped. She stopped at the sight of the large dog, hiding behind a crate. That couldn't be a dog, could it? They weren't, two legs didn't come here anymore. Not since Barley and Ravenpaw died. It had been years since that, though. One thing for sure though, he wasn't to be trusted. No dog could be trusted. Not after what happened to our mother, who was mauled by dogs. Alright everyone, that will be it for this, oh my god, sorry. That will be it for this RP. I am losing interest in this RP, but I'll probably server hop and do a different character. If you want me to do a character, it'll probably be, if you want me to do a few different characters, it'll probably be this character. Which, yes, I made myself. This character, which is, kind of my version of Running Nose. Like, this is Creamsight. And the other one, if you want me to do a rogue OC, it'll probably be Scout. He's kind of my half and half, my main character. And then for Medicine Cat RPs, this is Blue Breeze, and that will probably be my main character for her. If you want me to do any Shadow Clan OCs, or you want an OC, these are the ones that are off limit. So Astral Gaze is often off limits because of her being my main at the time. Right now, that might change eventually. This is Astral Gaze. So yeah, she's kind of a no-brainer. Pumpkin Fright is my Halloween OC and will not be traded. Especially since he was one of the longest to make. I actually need a better name for him, so if you guys have any name suggestions, that would be incredibly appreciated. Onyx is on the table. He's more of astral flights or astral gazes mate, and he's not a favorite character of mine, but seeing as how plain he is, but he works. He's more of a dark forest type of animal type, and then I also trade Briar Wish, another character that I made just to kind of create a character. I was just trying to kind of create some interesting characters. So that's another one that I have made by myself. So yeah, if you would like any of these characters, please let me know. My next ORP will probably be with Blossomberry, Snow Song's sister. Blossomberry is like the more excitable of the both of them. So, like, if that's what you're looking for, then this is the RP that you'll want. And hopefully I will have like an actual idea for them. But this is another off limits one. Most of my mains are off limits because I don't want people posing as me and saying that they are me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and goodbye!